love, she walks so lightly beneath the stars that guide her nightly. With wisdom's hand she shapes our dreams, gentle as the moonlight's beams. Her heart a bloom of endless grace, a queen who wears a gentle face. Her kindness paints the morning skies, Seondeok's rain where love applies. Oh, Seondeok, queen of peace, your wisdom song will never cease. In whispers deep your words take flight, leading us through darkest night.
Hi, this is Lisa.
I'm Denise, and we're the Outback Sisters, and today we're going to talk about Queen Seondeok of Silla.
Whom I've never heard of, and we're
I
hoping to
hadn't
learn
either.
something new. Yeah, I mean, that's good because we're learning something new, and we'll be able to tell you about someone who obviously isn't very well known, unless, some people would know. Obviously, Korean people may know about this woman since she was in Korean history.
Yes.
Okay, shall I get started?
Yeah, let's get started.
Okay, so Queen Seondeok of Silla, born around 632 and died, I don't know if she died 647, but she must have been queen during that. Her reign,
That's
sorry.
for reign. Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. Her reign was between 632 and 647. She stands as one of the most remarkable figures in Korean history. As the first reigning queen in Korea, long lineage of monarchs, she broke through societal norms and left an indelible mark on the kingdom of Silla, paving the way for a flourishing culture, innovation, and political stability.
Her reign, although it was not really very long, was transformative and a testament to her intelligence, foresight, and commitment to her people.
Queen Seondeok was born as Princess Deokman, daughter of Silla's King Jeonpyeong and Queen Maya. While historical records differ on the exact birth order, she had at least one confirmed sister, Princess Seonmyeong, and that's the only one that could confirm. The ancient text Seondeok Sagi identifies Seondeok as the oldest daughter, though another source had contested text Hwang Segi suggests Seonmyeong was the older daughter. A third sister, Princess Seonhwa, appears in some historical records.
The princess was a member of Silla's royal Kim family. Silla, one of the three kingdoms of Korea, alongside Goguryeo and Bakgi, was a developing kingdom that faced internal and external challenges. Deokman was known for her exceptional intellect and sharp political acumen from an early age.
King Jeonpyeong faced the challenge of succession without a male heir. He initially considered his son-in-law Kim Yong-soo, husband of Princess Seonmyeong, as his potential successor based on Kim's service in the country. However, Princess Deokman boldly challenged this decision, begging her father for the opportunity to compete for the throne. She argued that her right to succession was equal to that of Kim Yong-soo.
He was impressed by his daughter's determination, so King Jeonpyeong agreed to give her a chance to prove her worthiness as heir. This was a significant challenge. While Silla had experience with female power in leadership roles, such as Queen Sado's regency during King Jeonpyeong's reign, the notion of a woman ascending to the throne as ruler in her own right faced considerable resistance.
Princess Deokman understood that she would need to demonstrate exceptional capability to win the trust and support of her people. Through her efforts and competence, she ultimately succeeded, and King Jeonpyeong named her as his successor.
When the king passed away, despite the controversy of Princess Deokman's candidacy for the throne, she was ultimately successful. So this was a groundbreaking moment in Korean history.
In January 632, she became Silla's 27th ruler and its first reigning queen. She was the second female sovereign in recorded East Asian history and encouraged a renaissance in thought, literature, and the arts in Silla.
The announcement of the princess's succession sparked instant resistance among some court officials, culminating in a planned uprising in May 631. Two high-ranking officials, Ikan Chulsuk and Akan Seokpum, led the rebellion attempt. However, their conspiracy was uncovered before it could take root. The consequences were swift and severe. Chulsuk faced public execution in the marketplace, and his entire family was put to death. Wow. You don't want to be naughty there.
Don't even let your partner get
No. While Seokpum initially managed to flee to the Bakji border, attempted to return to his wife. Upon capture, he met the same fate as his co-conspirator, execution for treason.
I think they used to do that because they always said that if you left any relatives, they had a chance to come back for revenge.
Yeah.
I think that's done. It's not nice, but I think that was the main point of it. Okay,
It's
so
absolutely true, isn't it? If you're going to, I guess it depends. I guess it depends because I think women can sometimes be just as bad as the menfolk. Perhaps she was. I mean,
but they can still raise an army.
Yes, putting to death the children is probably a little tough, but I don't know. We don't know, I guess, how that woman was, how his wife was. And it doesn't mention killing the wife of the other dude, so perhaps there was something about that particular wife.
Okay, so I'll just continue. I was just asked what it was about. I'll tell him later. Queen Seondeok immediately demonstrated her commitment to her people's welfare. She announced comprehensive policies focused on social care and reform. Her first major initiative dispatched royal inspectors through the kingdom to establish better support system for society's most vulnerable members, widows, widowers, orphans, the impoverished, and the elderly.
In keeping with diplomatic tradition, she sent an envoy to the Tang dynasty of China to pay tribute and formally announce her accession. However, this diplomatic overture met resistance from Emperor Taizong, who refused to recognize her authority solely because she was a woman, marking an early challenge to her reign.
Like her father, Queen Seondeok had a deep devotion to Buddhism and being aware of the importance of unity and national identity. She championed Buddhism as a unifying force in Silla. During her reign, she constructed numerous temples, pagodas, and Buddhist statues.
Queen Seondeok also demonstrated a keen interest in science and astronomy. She commissioned the construction of an observatory, which remains the oldest surviving astronomical observatory in East Asia. The structure symbolized the Queen's emphasis on knowledge and her belief in the practical applications of science for governance and agriculture. The observatory allowed for better tracking of celestial movements, which was essential for determining agricultural cycles and fostering economic stability.
According to the historical text Samguk Sagi, in March 636, Queen Seondeok fell gravely ill, resisting all attempts at treatment through both medicine, and prayer.
2 years later, in March 638, In an inexplicable phenomenon occurred when a massive stone on the mountain's south face moved of its own accord. This strange event seemed to presage danger, as 7 months later, Goguryeo forces landed and launched an attack on the mountain valley. I can't speak.
The following year brought even more disturbing signs when the eastern seas of Silla turned blood red, resulting in a mass fish death. These successive calamities, the Queen's illness, the mysterious moving stone, and the enemy attack, as well as the blood red sea, created deep anxiety among the people, with many interpreting them as supernatural omens foretelling Silla's impending doom.
In 642, King Widja of Bakji personally led an assault against Silla, successfully capturing 40 fortresses in Silla's western region. General Yangchung, commanding 10,000 troops, seized the strategically significant Daya.
The following year, 643, Bakji and Goguryeo jointly captured Danghang Fortress, blocking a key maritime route to the Tang dynasty. In response, Queen Seondeok sent a diplomatic envoy to the Tang emperor seeking aid. The emperor presented three options. First, he would launch an invasion of the Liandong Peninsula and conduct a naval campaign to seize Bakji. Second, he would supply thousands of Tang military uniforms and flags to help Silla troops masquerade as Chinese soldiers. Third, he proposed sending a male royal to the Tang lineage to become the new king of Silla, reasoning that Silla's enemies did not fear the kingdom because of its female ruler. However, the diplomat returned without disclosing the emperor's proposal to Queen Seondeok.
Wonder if he knew she wasn't going to accept it.
Possibly. And
'Cause
maybe he
that's what
didn't want her to accept it.
the first thing I thought is that
Yeah.
I don't know her, but what I read and what I think about her is that I think she would have told the Chinese dude to get lost, because there's no way he's sending another ruler here, a Chinese man, to take over Korea or part of Korea.
Yeah. I dare say that's what's happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought.
During this time of crisis, Queen Seondeok called upon the renowned Buddhist monk Zhang, who had spent 7 years studying under the great Buddhist masters of the Tang dynasty. Monk Zhang returned to Silla in 643 and advised the Queen and her councillors to build a grand 9-story pagoda. His plan had a dual purpose: to fend off foreign invasion and to calm the anxieties of the people. After careful consideration, Queen Seondeok agreed, recognising the importance of such a project in overcoming the pressing challenges of the moment.
However, when the Queen met with her royal subjects, she discovered their strong opposition to the plan. They were frightened that the construction would place a heavy tax burden on the people, especially given the state of the royal treasury. Despite these concerns, Queen Seondeok remained absolute in her decision. She believed that the act of religious devotion would unite her people and demonstrate that Silla was far from being in ruin. She even suggested that her palace could be dismantled, its bricks and timbers repurposed if necessary to fund the project. After 2 years of reconstruction, the Hwangryongsa Pagoda, meaning Imperial Dragon Temple, was finally completed. No insult meant if I've pronounced any of this stuff wrong.
During Queen Seondeok's reign, the groundwork for unifying the three kingdoms under Silla was established. A series of attacks and reign by the combined forces of Bakji and Goguryeo had pushed the kingdom to the brink of a crisis. In response, the queens decided to seek an alliance with the Tang dynasty. She was initially ridiculed for her decision, but eventually gained the emperor's acceptance. Only after witnessing the increased power of Goguryeo.
Queen Seondeok's wisdom is well documented in Korean historical records, often highlighted through anecdotes and underscore her intelligence and foresight. One famous story recounts how she predicted an imminent revolt before observing that a group of peonies sent to her as a
Flowers.
gift. Oh yeah, they are too. The little delicate flowers, aren't they?
Yeah.
Sent to her as a gift, lacked fragrance. She interpreted this as a metaphor for the royalty of her court officials, beautiful in appearance but lacking substance. Her prediction proved correct. February 8th, 647, she acted swiftly to quash a rebellion led by Bidam and several high-ranking officials. Bidam claimed that the female ruler was unfit to govern, calling for the end of female leadership.
The rebellion was quelled within 10 days by Kim Yoshun and Kim Alcheon and Bidam. The rebellion was quelled. Bidam was one of the... Oh, and 30 conspirators were executed on February the 17th, 647. So she got them all.
Yeah, so she should. Another tale speaks of her vision as a leader. When informed of a potential invasion, she reportedly instructed her generals to prepare defences in strategic locations before the enemy's plans were fully known. This proactive approach often gave Silla an advantage over its rivals and demonstrated her deep understanding of military strategy.
According to the historical text Orang Sigi, Queen Seondeok had 3 husbands, Kim Yokchung Ulji and Lord Hyoban. The ancient text, so it's Kim Yongchung Ulji, they're 2 different people, and Lord Hyoban. The ancient text Samguk Yusi also mentions that she married Galmanwang while Changneong Jo clan tradition suggests that she was married to the clan's founder, Jo Gai Ryong. However, it is widely accepted that Queen Seondeok chose not to marry at all to avoid political conflict, a decision that influenced the subsequent female rulers, Queen Jindeok and Queen Jinseong, both of whom also remained unmarried. So there's a bit of confusion here, eh?
Yeah, it's a bit like Queen Elizabeth I. She would always say she was going to marry them, but wouldn't.
And didn't,
Just,
yeah.
didn't want them to align, and so just kept them hanging on. Okay. Queen Seondeok passed away February 20, 647. January 8th, 647 is the lunar calendar. Shortly before Bidam's rebellion was fully suppressed. While the exact cause of her death is unknown, it's believed to be an unsuspicious illness that she'd been suffering from, contributing to her passing. Some historians also suggest that the shock of Bidam's rebellion may have played a role in her death. Queen Seondeok was buried in a tomb in Nangsang, one of Gyeongju's sacred mountains. After her death, her cousin succeeded her as the next female ruler of Silla, becoming Queen Jindeok.
As the first female ruler of Silla, she faced significant resistance from conservative factions within the court. The idea of a woman ruling was extraordinary and met with skepticism and opposition. Despite these obstacles, she maintained her authority through intelligence, diplomacy, and strategic alliances. Her success not only solidified her position, but also set a precedent for other female rulers in Silla. Silla?
Yep.
I'm not reading the rest.
Why?
Because
okay.
we've already said her successors were Queen Jindeok and Jin Seong. So I wasn't going to read that, but
okay,
her successors.
Queen Seondeok's reign though lasting 15 years, was pivotal in the history of Silla and Korea as a whole. She transformed Silla into a more stable and culturally rich kingdom, setting the stage for its eventual dominance over the Korean peninsula. Her emphasis on Buddhism, culture, and science fostered a golden age for Silla that will continue long after her death.
Her story is one of determination, intelligence, and groundbreaking leadership. As the first woman to rule Silla, she defied the traditions and demonstrated that merit and vision could surpass societal limitations. Her contributes to the cultural and scientific growth of that country, and her governance remain a source of inspiration, not just in Korea, but around the world. Queen Seondeok reign reminds us of the power of innovation and resilience in shaping history and leaving a legacy that endures through the ages.
Oh, sorry. Despite the challenges she faced, the Queen's leadership proved to be both innovative and effective. She adopted strategies that balanced diplomacy and military strength, forging alliances with Tang China to counter threats from Goguryeo and Baoji. Her diplomatic approach laid the groundwork for Silla's eventual unification of the Korean peninsula later in the 7th century. There you go. Did a lot in her time.
She seemed like somebody who respected people who weren't as were the underclass, you know, like the elderly, the sick, the disabled, all that kind of sort of people. Yet she also seemed to be willing to fight and protect the country as well. She had a combination of strength and also kindness, which it was nice. I thought she sounded like I mean, I know we don't know her. We can't go back there.
No.
But she sounded to me like a relatively good leader.
Nothing written there says that she had evil plans or, was dominating or anything like that. She always seemed to she had the culture was forefront in her mind. Her religion obviously was even ahead of that, and her Buddhism religion.
Yeah,
so,
she unlike our leaders today, she was only for her country. She wasn't for herself. She seemed like she had no underlying need to become bigger than she was. All she wanted to do was to defend her place from everyone else. And to me, she seems like a really good leader. I wouldn't say impressed by her, but I certainly didn't dislike her. She was very nice.
Her name is, when I was saying her name, I kept thinking, gee, that's familiar. And I think my husband watches a lot of those Asian films, Korean movies, that are very historical. And I call them hysterical, but historical. And I'm pretty sure I've heard that name mentioned. So, and I noticed there's a part where she has a fight. She's involved to get her rules set up, and sets up against a lot of soldiers or whatever you want to call them back then. And I think that's in the storyline of the shows that he was watching. And they're normally about women. Sorry? What did you say?
I didn't. I just agreed with you.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So and also I noticed Silla, I just had a quick look while we were finishing up, is Seoul. Korea is the city of Seoul. Silla is the city Seoul.
Okay.
You don't know?
I'm going to guess it's that region anyway. Yeah.
Well, that's what it says. It's the Seoul, because I had a quick look. That's what it later became. Yeah. All under Korea.
Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope she's somebody you don't know and you can learn from.
I'm darn sure there'll be a lot more. If you're Korean, you probably even know, but so please pop it in the feedback, because it'd be interesting to
Absolutely.
hear what you know. And
Yeah.
we'll definitely have a look at it.
Yeah.
Yep.
If there's
Okay then.
if there's something you know
Yeah.
that we don't, please fill us in.
Always willing to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. And we don't
Or
know,
be
we
corrected.
know nothing.
No,
I was
that's
gonna
what
say
this is about.
we don't know everything, but I'm gonna say we know nothing. So
Always willing to learn, and maybe in some of it we have a little bit of knowledge, but there's always areas where you can expand that
in
knowledge.
this one I had none. Had none.
No, I've never heard. Only in fact when we were saying the name. I've
Mm-hmm.
heard that before somewhere.
All right
Yeah.
then.
Right.
All right then.
Okay, guys. Speak to you
Thank
soon.
you.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thank you very much, and we'll catch you on the next one.
See you
Bye.
next time. Bye.